Howdy, Connection Group leaders. Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing great. I'm out here by our giant smoker because it's the closest thing that I have to an altar. Although, Lord knows, I have sacrificed many, many animals out here and hopefully plan to do many, many more before, my lifetime is over. Nonetheless, I thought about being, a little bit silly. Today is March 6th, trying to, you know, merge in the Alamo and sacrifice and just as opposed to just being silly, I'll just simply say, remember the Alamo. It is cool that we're talking about Abraham and Isaac. Now, if you've been following along with this, and I'm assuming you have because you're teaching this stuff, it might feel a little bit weird to jump from where we did last week. We jumped from the promise of the coming child and we jump right over the birth of Isaac and we land where Isaac is probably 12 or 13, maybe even 15 years old. And we've reached the story of Abraham being told, okay, now I want you to go sacrifice your son. And that jump might feel odd, but just remember the actual birth of the baby is just the culmination, the promise that we've been looking at for, Abraham's been looking at for 25 years. We've been looking at for weeks. And we've said over and over again, man, God keeps his covenants completely. And so we see not just the fulfillment of the baby, but just like the longevity of his life here and the continued keeping of the covenant. So be sure to emphasize that. But man, here's what I think about with this story. I love, and this might sound weird to say I love, like I really do love it because it's a sweet reminder of God's kindness. And this is where some would say, dude, God just said, go kill your kid. How in the world does that make your God kind? And I like to attach this story with Mark, Mark chapter 10, the rich young ruler. I see these two stories very much not as one, but they are very complementary to each other. Remember, the rich young ruler comes to Jesus and said, dude, like I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. Everything the Bible's told me, I've done. What else do I need to do? And Jesus looks at him and says, go sell all your stuff. Come and follow me. It says the rich young ruler went away sad because he was very wealthy. He couldn't do it. God has brought Abraham to this point, and Abraham has done everything that God has told him to do. He's left his family. He's been circumcised. He's left his family on multiple occasions. There's been some bumps along the road, but he's done everything that God's told him to do. And now we reach the stage where he should be able to go, okay, like I'm here. Yay. And God says, nope, I still have more to ask of you. And here's what's sweet. The ridiculous seeming request comes from the Lord. Okay, I want you to go sacrifice your kid. Just like I'm sure it felt ridiculous of the rich young ruler for Jesus to say, go sell all your stuff, give it to the poor and come follow me. Wait, you want me to be poor? I don't understand. Like, how does that even make sense? Sell all my stuff? Like, it's like, then I'm just going to be, a burden on the ministry if I'm just totally poor. If anything, let me, give my money to the ministry and help that out. But that's not what Jesus said. Because it had nothing to do with the stuff. And it really had nothing to do with Isaac either. In this case, it had everything to do with, do you really trust me? Yes, you've trusted me so far. You've done all these things. But now that you have what you want, do you really trust me? In other words, do you love me enough to give up the stuff that I've given you in the first place to continue to have a relationship with me? See, I really believe, and we have no way of proving this because he took the opposite direction. Had the rich young ruler said, okay, yeah, I'm going to sell all my stuff, I really do believe Jesus said, I don't need you to do that. I just needed you to know, and I needed to know that you're serious about this relationship. By all means, yes, give stuff to the poor, but it's not about the stuff. It's about your heart. That was the revelatory question. Just like in this particular instance, the God of all the universe, right at the moment of sacrifice, God says, no. Don't sacrifice the boy. I don't need you to do that. In fact, just like you told Isaac a second ago, God will provide. I am, in fact, providing. In fact, I'm providing a better sacrifice than your son. The reason why God is so kind, this is going to make sense, I hope now, I promise, is this. Our God does not demand sacrifices like every other God in the universe demands. Our God sacrifices himself. See, lots of other gods, certainly in that day and age, required blood sacrifice, including blood sacrifice to your children. And God said, no, I'll give my son. God sent a ram to Abraham and Isaac to meet that need in that moment. 2,000-ish years later, after this moment, God sends Jesus. the Lamb of God, to be the sacrifice for us all. And by the way, he's on Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah is just outside of Jerusalem, not far from where Jesus would have been sacrificed also. There's really lots of incredibly cool imagery going on. It's about our hearts, man. We are a people who are well fed and well taken care of. Yeah, we have various stages of want and need for sure, but by and large, our needs have been met. And the call for us is really the call. It's the same as the rich young ruler and with Isaac. And it's simply this, in one way or another: do you love me more than you love your stuff? Would you be willing to give up everything if I asked you to come and follow me? It's a question we can only answer for ourselves and with the Lord. So that's the challenge. That's the call today. I hope that's encouraging to you. I hope that's challenging to you. That's challenging to me. I'm going to go think about that some. And I hope we have a great Sunday worshiping together. Guys, I love y'all. Happy Alamo Day. Remember the Alamo. More importantly, man, remember that sacrifice that Jesus made for us, and that God says, no, I give the sacrifices. You just come and follow. It's very cool. Love you guys. See you later.